And now the Trump administration is going to authorize 600 military attorneys who have no experience whatsoever in immigration law to become immigration judges. And this is just going to be the biggest disaster that the immigration courts have seen in a while, probably since the last time Trump was president. In late August 2025, the Department of Justice finalized a rule that removed the requirement for immigration judges to have 10 years of prior immigration law experience. Historically, immigration judges worked in some immigration capacity beforehand. The majority of the ones in New York were previously Department of Homeland Security trial attorneys, which are the ICE deportation attorneys. And there is a good reason for that rule. Immigration law is one of the most complicated fields of immigration law, and it literally makes no sense to someone who's been doing it for less than a few years. And I mean, I've been doing this since around 2013, and this is the only thing I've been doing. I don't do any criminal law, no family law. I only do family-based immigration and deportation defense litigation. That's all I've ever done. And I'm still regularly learning tons of stuff. And it's not just like I'm learning one new thing a month. I'm learning like one new thing a day still. And I'm still just shocked at how complex this is. And for my colleagues who've been doing this for like 30 years, when I talk to them about a complex immigration issue, it blows my mind how much they know and how little I know by comparison. So that's all to say that immigration law is unbelievably complicated. And now the Trump administration is going to authorize 600 military attorneys who have no experience whatsoever in immigration law to become immigration judges. And this is just going to be the biggest disaster that the immigration courts have seen in a while, probably since the last time Trump was president. I think the end result of this is just going to be a lot of appealed decisions based on erroneous findings of law by the immigration judges. I mean, there's no way you can bring someone who has zero immigration law experience up to speed enough for them to make like well-reasoned immigration law decisions in a deportation defense context. There's no way to do that in a couple months. I would argue you can't even do that in a year, but the Trump administration is going to just try to do it immediately, and I can't imagine how disastrous this is going to be. All of this is coming at a time when the Trump administration is putting additional pressure on immigration judges and firing the ones who don't do what the Trump administration tells them to do. For example, there was this judge out of Boston that was instructed by administration officials to grant all of the government's motions to dismiss removal proceedings. But the judge said that he was going to apply the law as it was, and not just going to summarily grant a motion to dismiss by only one party without hearing arguments from the other side. And this slowed down these motions to dismiss. And the reason the government was trying to dismiss these removal proceedings was because if someone is no longer in active removal proceedings, they can now be subject to expedited removal. So in reality, the judge would grant a motion to dismiss. The immigrant that's sitting right there would no longer be in removal proceedings, and the moment they leave the courtroom, an ICE officer would just detain them and begin something called expedited removal, which is really not fair. It's not consistent with the principles of litigation in the United States. Everyone has their right to a fair day in court, and same thing goes for asylum applicants. So the judge didn't do what the Trump administration asked him to do, and then he got fired. And this has happened to dozens of judges since the Trump administration took power. And now they're trying to replace them with people who are just going to rubber stamp whatever the Trump administration wants, regardless of how consistent it actually is with the Immigration and Nationality Act. I'm curious to see how this plays out. I'm curious to see any litigation that flows from this. There's definitely going to be like thousands of appealable court cases that flow from these immigration judges who have no experience whatsoever. But, you know, it's too early to say exactly how this is going to all unfold. All right, guys, that was just a short video keeping you guys up to date on what's going on the ground from an immigration lawyer's perspective. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pouyan Darian. I'm an immigration attorney with an office in New York. I practice family-based immigration law, naturalization, and immigration defense, deportation defense nationwide. So if you want to speak to an attorney about any of these issues, whether you want to just strategize, get some questions answered, or you are considering hiring an attorney to handle the case for you from start to finish, you should schedule a consultation directly with me. My information and direct booking link are in the video description below. I look forward to speaking to you. And for those of you who are new to my channel, I put out several videos each week giving you up-to-date guidance on immigration policy changes. So if you want to stay up to date, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for another video.